This is the AQA Functional Skills Level 2 Mathematics Paper 1. In other words, it's a non-calculator paper and it will take 30 minutes. It's the one from 23rd of February 2021. So let's have a start. The first question is asking us to circle the value that is equivalent to 0.4. Now 4% means it's 4 out of 100, which is the same as 4 divided by 100, so that means divide by 10, divide by 100, and so that's actually 0.04, so no good. Let's turn this into an equivalent fraction. If I double the top, I get 4, if I double the bottom, I get 10, and 4 divided by 10 is 0.4. Now there's no need to continue, but if we did want to continue, a quarter is the same as 0.25, and 4 divided by 100 is exactly what we had at the beginning, which is going to be 0.04. So we can see that the one we wanted all along was the fraction 2/5. The next question is a subtraction question, so we're going to have to lay it out carefully. We have 5, 8, 6, 2, 0, 7, and we're subtracting 1, 4, 2, 3, 3, 9. Make sure to align your columns for the place value. 7 take away 9 is not possible, so we're going to have to borrow, but you can't borrow from 0, so you're going to have to borrow from this 2 over here. So we're left with a 1. That becomes a 10. We're going to borrow from that 10, so that becomes a 9. That's 17. 17 take away 9 will leave us with 8. We can always check it by saying 8 plus 9 is 17, and yes, it works. 9 take away 3 is 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, just checking by going backwards. 1 take away 3, we can't do that, so we're going to have to borrow again. So this time we have 6 take away 1 is 5, and now we have 11 on that side. So 11 take away 3 is going to be 8. Let's just check. 8, 9, 10, 11, yes. 5 take away 2 is going to be 3. 8 take away 4 is 4, and 5 take away 1 is 4. So our final answer is 443,868. Question number 3. Question number 3 is looking like a scatter type diagram. It says draw the line of best fit on this scatter diagram. That means that we need a ruler, and when you're drawing your line of best fit, you want to try to go through as many of the x's or have equal number of x's below and above. So as you can see, that's not quite right, so we're trying to get, that's probably quite good. Okay, so when we bring it down, we're going to go somewhere along the lines of that. You are allowed some flexibility, but please make sure that you do have roughly the same on the distribution of x's above and below. Question number 4. Question number 4 is a percentage question without a calculator. It says work out 71% of 43,000. Now there's various ways of doing this. You can do a straightforward calculation, or you can use the idea of knowing what the various percentages are. So the calculation type one would be saying 71 out of 100 times by 43,000, and if you do that, you can see that we can actually cancel some zeros. 2 zeros on the bottom, 2 zeros on top, and so now we're left with a calculation which is going to be 71 times 430. You can use a grid method if you prefer to work it out. So we can say 0 times 1 is 0, 0 times 7 is 0, 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 7 is 21, 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 7 is 28, add them together, and we end up with an answer. 2 plus 8 is 10, carry 1, 3. So our answer here would be 30,530. An alternative method would have been to work out 50%. 50% is half of that. Work out 10% and work out 1%. Or you could do, so let's do that. So we could say the standard thing, 10% of that number, divide by 10, so we're left with 4,300. Okay. We'll need now it's whether you want to do 7 lots of them, or whether you wanted to do 50 and make it up, so we could say another 10%, be another 4,300, that would be 20. We need 1%, and 1% is divided by 100, so divide by 10, divide, so we end up with 430, and then we need a 50%, and that's going to be half. So if I halve that, I'm going to get 2, half of 4 is 2, and half of 30 is 15, so I'm going to get there 2, 15, 0, 0. Okay, now if you add this side here, we're going to get 50, 60, 70, 71%, which is what we wanted. And if we add this side, we're going to get 0, 3, 5, and 3 is 8. 8 plus 3 is going to be 11. 11 plus 4 is 15, carry 1. And then we have 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6, so that's going to be a 10, carry 2. So we're going to get 40,530, which you notice, ooh, that shows I made a mistake somewhere. Oh, here we are, because we carried, didn't we? And so we carried a 10. That's my mistake. Should be more careful. There we are. Okay, excellent. So that is question number 4. There are other methods to do it. It's all up to you how you prefer to do that. Okay, let's have a look. So let's move on to the next question. Next question is an angle one, and in this question here we have parallel lines. We know they're parallel because they've put these little arrows on, and they're asking us to find out this value of x. Now in parallel lines, what we know is that this cross is the same as what's happening at this cross here, this intersection, and so in other words, the lower right hand is 120, so on this side here the lower right hand 20 would be 100. Right hand side, sorry, would be 120, and we know that on a straight line things add up to 180, so we're going to say 180 take away 120, and we can see that 180 take away 120 would be 60, and you can work backwards to check it. So 20 plus 60 is 80, and 100, so that's the answer there is 60 degrees. Okay, right, now we're going on to question number 6, and this is the last of the short questions before we move to section B. And in this one it says we have a triangular prism. Here's a picture of a triangular prism. They've given us the dimensions, and there's an arrow indicated, and it says on the centimeter grid below, so each of these they're telling us will be a centimeter, draw the elevation of the prism from the direction of the arrow, in other words from this direction here. And if we look from that direction there, what we would see is the back of this prism, which is actually a rectangle. Okay, and if we do that, you're going to see that we have a rectangle, and the rectangle is 3 centimeters high and it's 5 centimeters long. So we need a ruler, and we're going to have something that is 5 centimeters long. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I can do that because they tell me each of those is a centimeter, and then 3 down, and then again just complete it. So as we said, it's just showing that it's a rectangle. It's only 1 mark, so I don't think we need to do anything else for that. Okay, sometimes they ask us to label it, but they haven't in this case. So now we're on to question 7, and question 7 is one of the section B questions, and that means there might be related. Part A, part B, part C may be all connected. So what do we have here? We have scouts, and they say a scout group is on a camping trip, and in part A it has a grid, and they're showing us the field where the group is camping. So here's a field, and they tell us that tents A, let me move it up so you can see, there are tents A, B, C and D. The campfire set at the midpoint, that means in the middle of the line AC. So we see there's a line AC, so let's put in a line AC so that we can keep our eye focused on what's happening. Try and line it up as well as we can do. Okay, and we want to find a midpoint, and it says write the coordinates. Now there's 2 ways of doing that. One of them would be to measure it and then find the middle, and as you can see it's about 11, half of 11 is about 5.5, so we're looking for something, and so it's about there-ish. Okay. The other way we could do it is counting number of boxes along 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Half of 10 is 5, so go count along 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can see it's going to be there. And the other is going up. Up is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Half of 6 is 3, so we go up 1, 2, 3, and so it's there. And when they mark and they come along, you can see that there is the midpoint. And the midpoint, in other words, if this is 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our x coordinate, let me just slide this up so we can see where we're writing it. Our x coordinate is going to be 6. And in this case here we want to go up there. This was 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a height of 4. And so we can write in a value of 4. Okay, let's just make it a bit clearer. I'm going to write here this 6/4, just so you can see where it came from. Okay, excellent. Part B then. And part B is telling us that we're with these scouts. It takes 3 scouts half an hour to do the washing up. How long will it take 5 scouts to do the same amount of washing up? Assume all the scouts work at the same rate. Well, that's important because otherwise then you might get a lazy one or something like that. And it says give your answer in minutes. Okay. So notice that's asked in minutes, and here we have talking hours. So when I make the calculation, instead of working with half an hour, I'm going to use the idea that half an hour is actually 30 minutes. And then that's okay because I know I'm automatically going to be working in minutes. So let's see. Normally it takes 3 scouts 30 minutes to do the washing up. So in other words, if one person had to do all this work, 3 times 3 is 9. It would take them 90 minutes to do the work of 3 people. Do you see what we've done? We said 3 people, each of them takes 30 minutes. So if one person were doing it, it would take them 90 minutes to do the job. But in this case, we know that we have 5. So what they want is that we're going to have the total time, and we're going to divide it by 5. Okay. Now it depends how you like to do your divisions. You could do a long division. We could put here 90, and here we could do our 5. How many 5s fit into 9? Well, 1. What's the remainder? 4. So how many 5s fit into 40? 8. So the answer is 18 minutes. And I'll write the answer down here, 18. If you don't like doing a long division, that's fine. Just count upwards until you get to 90. So you could go on 5, 10, 15, 20, and you keep doing that till you get to 90, and you'd have found that there's 18 of them. Excellent. We have just one more to do. Part C. And part C is about the scouts again. There are 72 scouts on the trip. They each work towards either, that's important, a forest badge or survival skills badge. So not both, it's one or the other. 2/3 of the scouts work towards the forest badge. 10 of these scouts do not achieve the badge. Altogether, 3 times as many scouts achieved a badge as did not achieve a badge. One of the scouts is chosen at random. Work out the probability that a scout achieved the survival skills badge. Okay, so it's a probability question, but before that we're going to have to fill in the table. 6 marks, so we better take care on this one. Okay, so what do we have? They've already told us that there's 72 scouts in total, and they told us that 10 of the scouts that tried for the forest badge did not get it. So 10 of the forest badge did not get it. So what we're going to do, we're going to work out 2/3. So it's part of the calculation here, where I'm just going to move it up, and it says 2/3 of the scouts, which means there's 72 of them. So we're going to have to work out 2/3 of 72. It's up to you how you want to do it. You could do the division first, or you could do a multiplication. I'm just going to do a multiplication first, because doubling 72 is quite easy, because doubling 2 is 4 and doubling 7 is 14. But I still have to divide by 3. So this is where I'm going to do my long division, and we have 144, and I'm going to divide by 3. Does 3 fit into 1? No, it doesn't. Does 3 fit into 14? Yes, it does, because 3 times 4 is 12. And I have 14 things, so 12 remainder. If I have 14, 2. How many 3s in 24? 8. Any remainder? No. So we know that there were 48 scouts that worked towards a forest badge. So I can now write that down. So forest badge, there were 48 scouts that worked towards a forest badge. 10 did not get the badge, which means that 38 of them did get the badge. Okay. Now we can do a little bit more. We can see here that this number plus something is 72. So working backwards, we could say 72, take away 48. Oops, sorry about that. I just noticed you can't see what I'm doing. We're we're going to have to borrow from 7, so that's going to be 6, and this becomes 12. 12 take away 8 leaves me with 4. 6 take away 4 is 2. So we have 24 scouts that tried for the survival skills. We can just check it because 4 plus 8 is 12, carry 1. 4 and 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, so that's fine. Okay, how are we going to fill in this bit here? Well, there's a little bit of information up here. I'm not sure if you noticed. It said 3 times as many scouts achieved a badge as did not achieve a badge. So that means talking about the total here, those that achieved a badge and those that did not achieve a badge. And they're telling us that between achieving a badge and not achieving a badge, 3 times as many achieved. So whatever did not achieve, 3 times as many achieved. 3 times as many scouts achieved a badge as did not. So if 2 of them had not achieved, then there'd be 6 that achieved. That is the ratio. Apologies again, I just noticed this. Okay, but we know that in total there were 72. So what we're going to do is, it's a ratio, and we're going to split our 72 into these parts here. So how many parts are there? Well, 3 plus 1 is 4 parts. I'm going to split 72 into 4 parts. Now, sorry about the space, I'm just making sure I don't run out. So 4 into 7 is 1. What's in the remainder? 3. How many 4s in 32? Well, if I halve 32, I get 16, and halve it again, I get 8. So let's see, that's true because 4 lots of 8 is 32. So there are 18, each part is worth 18. So this one here is 18. And 3 lots of 18, well, 3 lots of 8 is 24, carry 2. 3 lots of 1 is 3, plus another 2 is 54. Let's check. 54 plus another 10 is 64. 64 plus 8 is going to be 72, so that's fine. So this is how many achieved and did not achieve. So going back up here, we know that there's 54 that achieved and 18 that did not. So now we just have to subtract. So 10 plus something is 8, so that's going to be an 8. And it's your choice, you can either go this way or that way. I'll probably go this way because it's easier. 24 take away 8 would leave me with 16. We could check it going this way because 38 plus 10 is 48. 48 plus 6 is 54. Excellent, so we've managed to fill in our table. That's worth quite a few marks. But we haven't finished because it says here, work out the probability that the scout achieved the survival skills badge. So we want to know how many achieved a survival skill. So here we have survival skills achieved. So we know that there are 16 of them that achieved it, and the probability is out of the total, which is 72. So we're going to say 16 achieved the survival skills badge out of a total of 72. That's our probability. Okay, excellent, well done. That's the end. See you next time.